Welcome to Farm Talk Friday.
We are on time.
That's right. I am Ken Jordan. This is my beautiful wife, Giovanna. Hi, Annie.
Hi, baby.
We are coming to you from Costa Rica, our little tiny permaculture farm, where today we have perfectly framed both of our chicken tractors right between our heads. Well, we moved down here like 8.5 years ago from the big city. I used to be in a band called the Crystal Method. My wife has an amazing nonprofit called Green Wave. You can check out Green Wave at greenwave.eco. It is July 26, 2024. I normally do that right at the beginning. And we try to do this show every Friday the best we can. It's like our little diary, and we talk about the farm and whatever else is going on. And this weekend's whatever else is going on is the second triathlon in the series of the Costa Rican Championship of Triathlon. So
Ken is the reigning champ of his age class.
That's right.
For this particular race.
Yes, I'm the defending champ. The only race right now I'm the defending champ on. But that's okay. I'm looking forward to it, except last year they had to save like 25 swimmers because the water was so rough. And
Let's do your check-in.
I just got a message from Mark. Mark is he's another triathlete that's on our team, which is called Pura Sonico.
Oh, Pura Sonico, okay.
Which is like Pura Vida and Southern Nicoya Peninsula combined. Pura Sonico. So anyway, he said the waves are really bad right now.
Really?
Yeah, he just got on the ferry.
Great.
So anyway, whatever. If you happen to be in Punta Arenas at 6:15 a.m. on Sunday, come on by. All right. We usually start off the show talking about this week's advertisement for Farm Talk Friday. And I see it was a sprouting camote. It was a sprouting sweet potato. Mm-hmm. And why don't you talk about what we do with it? Because we did two things with it.
We did?
Yeah.
Well, I bought these sweet potatoes. There's 3 different kinds here. So the orange innard ones, those are our favorites. Mm-hmm. And then ones that are like rosy, like mauve with like a white inside. And then there's ones that are totally purple. They're like purple outside and inside. So I bought all 3 kinds, and I thought we should have all 3. We've had the orange and then the white inside ones before and still, but I just want more. They make good ground cover, and I was intending on, kind of sprouting them a couple weeks ago. Apparently I didn't get to them quick enough, and so they decided to sprout all on their own, which is great. Less work. That's the permaculture way. You don't have to do anything apparently with them. Maybe there's just enough moisture in the air here in Costa Rica. Maybe if we were in California it wouldn't do that. But here in Costa Rica, Harry, just so you know, you can just leave the sweet potatoes out on the counter for a couple weeks and they will sprout on their own. So I just cut the eyelets out of them, and we planted those today. And then Ken used the rest of it for his triathlon food.
For my carbo loading. 3 nights in a row.
And then I have the camote water, which I think is really delicious. So we're enjoying it 3 ways, actually.
In our area, we are never lacking moisture or humidity.
No, we are not. So anyways, I expect that to go pretty well. I think we have camote growing in our main garden that we call the yin yang garden, and I kind of gave up on it actually when we took our fencing down. I was like, oh, the agoutis and the iguanas will get that all the time for sure. And for whatever reason, they don't, or they've been leaving us some, and so every once in a while I remember to go check it, and I'm like pleasantly surprised, and we have a little side dish.
Excelente.
Sí, excelente.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
in general, let me just say, our
Yeah.
yin yang garden's going good. I was giving updates for a long time of like our yin yang garden's in process, and we're going through this phase. And right now, it's looking really
looking
good,
great.
and the
There's a-
experiments are working, and Ken's flower request is working out.
And there's a couple of papaya trees that are looking very healthy. Mm-hmm. And okay, now we're just going to talk a little bit about water.
Okay.
Water is sort of important
Vital.
to everyone in the world. Okay, and then when you're way out in the rural areas in Costa Rica, or maybe in rural areas anywhere in the world, we have a well. Most people here rely on a community organization. They're called asadas, and they deal with the water for the community. And we have a well, and so, but sometimes there's problems with the well, and so it's good to have a backup, you know. And so we've gone through these troubles many times, so we've got a second backup, you know.
So Ken, by the way, is like in charge of the water for our community.
Well,
Not because he raised his hand for this position, but somehow it just has all fallen on Ken.
well, it's our well. The well's on our property.
Yeah, okay.
So, okay, but anyway, so we had a double backup going. So
The double redundancy?
Yeah, we had a well, and then we had the other side of the farm also has a well, and we're connected by a tube, you know, a pipe. And so when either of us have problems, we just turn on the valves and we share water. And that works generally all the time. But not this time. The pipe had been damaged and broken and torn out. And
On the other side of the farm.
yeah, and when it happened, the construction people they saw a dry pipe, so they thought it was not a pipe
Working.
that carries water. So they just tossed it, and then when we went to turn on the valve, like nothing happened, but on that side it flooded somebody's driveway. So that was a disaster. So we went to the double backup, the second backup, which is using the Asada water, the community water, from
The municipality water.
from where we are right now. So where we are right now is not our house; it's a guest house. So anyway, somehow that didn't work either. Nothing was working. It was a really long and stressful night. Anyway, it turned out it was just the valve was turned off on the street, and we got it going. And then today we got our pump and well fixed, and everything is looking good right now. And we're all super happy. But water, I mean, we lived in the city for a long time, and there was no thinking about the water. You just turn it on, and it always comes on. But here it is not the case. You're dealing with water issues all the time.
Yeah, and so when our power goes out, which is something that happens, because even though we have solar power normally, we're grid tied. We don't have batteries, and so if the power goes out, then we don't have power either, and then the well doesn't work.
Right.
So that also happens, and so we're gonna have a backup for that eventually, right? Is it gonna be like a little solar panel that sits to the side of the well?
We're actually going to augment our solar system with a big battery.
Okay.
So that will power the water pump if the power goes out.
Okay.
Super psyched about that.
Yeah. Hopefully it happens before some next catastrophe.
Yeah.
Okay. What else? Oh, the ad. We covered
Hey,
that.
help!
Yay, hope! Okay, so is it on to my stuff?
Yes.
Okay, I'll stop eating for this. So, we've been talking a lot about poop on this show, and I've just been really overwhelmed almost by the amount of poop this year. It's just everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is pooping everywhere? And there are dogs that run through sometimes, but it's not often enough. And I'm like, what is going on? And so I know that the foxes for sure are pooping everywhere. And there's many of them. There's like a family of foxes that come through a lot. And they actually get onto the chicken tractors on the white part and these other parts, and they'll poop all over that too. So that's fun.
Hope says, oh, you meant animals.
Oh, yeah. Yes, the animals. I know sometimes, like people are very open, but yeah, I'm just talking about animals right now. I did go through.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay, Ken doesn't want me to talk about that, but colonics. I just had my first colonics like a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, we're talking about the animals. So we have a family of foxes, but then like last week or a week or two ago, there was this iguana, and I saw him in our yin yang garden. He was on the yin yang. And I went out to kind of like shoo him away because I don't want him in there like eating stuff.
That was this week.
No, I'm talking about the first iguana.
Oh, okay.
So I look at him and I'm like, hey, like get out. And usually they'll run away, and he didn't. And I thought it was really odd. And I got pretty close to him. He didn't move, and he just looked at me and started pooping.
Yeah.
I was like, you are one of the poopers.
Mm-hmm.
And because I've been noticing a lot of poop in our yin yang garden. I'm like, this is driving me crazy. I know it's not the cat. I know she poops in like places where she can dig and leaves and stuff like that. And our other cat doesn't poop. So I'm like, who is pooping? And why are they so big? And I guess the bigger the iguana, the bigger the poops. And he was kind of a big iguana. So anyways, then I see this iguana like 2 days ago. And he's off to the side of the house, and also kind of like weird. I was like, oh, hey, buddy, how you doing? And he got himself in this very strange position. I don't know if I can show you guys, but like, I don't know, like his arm was like, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna have to like make a photo of this. I mean, this is like a new yogasana is what this guy was doing, and he lifted himself up, and it was so odd. And then all of a sudden, all this liquid just came pouring out of him, and I was like, oh my God, like that's on our deck. Like I walk barefoot on the deck all the time. I was so disgusted. I'm like, oh, okay. But at least urine's usually like it's kind of, I don't want to say sanitary, but it's sterilized or something, at least for humans. I'm hoping for all the animals too. I don't know. So that happened, and then like he stayed there, and then I was like, is he like a stallion, or like is he, or is that poop? And it was poop.
Yeah.
He just allowed himself to poop, and it was very large poop. And so that settled it. I'm like, okay, there's no dogs. It's just iguanas.
Just iguanas.
And we just have way too many of them. And so I don't know who needs to eat them. But if they could please come to the property, there's lots of them. But we do have a new little wild petunia who has adopted us, and I have high hopes for her because she hangs out in the yin yang garden, and she goes after smaller things because she's quite petite. But I think that she's going to help eat the baby iguanas, which turn into big iguanas. But this guy was like way too big for her. I don't think she could do it. Harry calls him the chicken of the tree.
Chicken of the tree.
So anyways, that's the iguana story.
Okay.
And then this week we had this like mini hurricane that came through out of nowhere. I was getting my hair done, and
To me, it seemed like the hardest rain ever. We've had more wind, certainly, but it seemed like the hardest rain ever.
it was psychotic. I'm sitting there. I only had like this little window view, kind of not like super far, but I just see like trees blowing and the rain's coming down, and of course the power goes out. We're wondering if she's gonna be able to wash my hair out. And you know, so that happened, and I'm just glad that like it went through. It took maybe like an hour, but because it's a little scary. Like I only took our Mula because it didn't look like.
Our Mula is our UTV.
Yeah.
Electric UTV.
It's like a golf cart, but 4-wheel drive. And I took it because it didn't look like it was going to rain. So, you know, I didn't think a hurricane was going to come through. That was for sure. So it was still raining when I left. And I was gifted this, you know, those like, what do you call them? Shower caps, like a sateen pink like shower cap. So I could come home and like shake my hair out for Ken. But yeah, it was really amazing. So anyway, the next day I'm walking around. Well, even when I came home that night, like it was like hard to drive into the driveway because all these like kind of, I don't know if I would call them trees, but they're decorative and they grow upright and they can grow kind of tall, but a lot of them were like coming over and so I knew I had work to do in the morning first thing. And
a couple of big trees went down on our property, but nothing too dangerous or nothing too bad.
No, thank goodness. It could have definitely been worse, but it like ruined pathways that had to be refixed, but I do like the storms because even when the things fall, it just like you have lots of lessons like impermanence.
It's called a hair bonnet.
Oh, a hair bonnet. But you know, you don't want to get too attached in the jungle because things go down. Like there was a lady that we knew once, and she's like, you know, I used to really love this papaya tree that was right in front of my view. She's like, and the jungle has taught me, you know, not to become attached because that, you know, papayas don't last very long anyway. And so her papaya tree went down and it changed her view. And she realized like, oh, like I'm not going to have these things forever, the way that they are. And, you know, but like there's opportunities when all of that falls. We have mulch. That's an opportunity. Mm-hmm. And then cuttings. So I was able to gift our friends and neighbors, pieces of this tree because they're easy to propagate, and so I got to share with our friends things that went down. One of them was like a flowering tree, and you can propagate that, and so anyways, hi Tish and Joy, we see that you popped on. Hey, we're actually almost off, but
what's happening with this?
So this is Katuk. I'm sure that we've talked about it before, but some of this kind of like fell over, and so I cut this. Also easy to propagate. Propagate means that you can kind of like cut it and stick it in the ground, at least here in Costa Rica, and it'll grow. You get a new plant, which is fun. This comes from, I don't know if it's Thailand or somewhere in Asia. Asia's huge. They have Katuk, and it's also called sweet leaf.
Oh, really?
But we feel like it has kind of more of a nutty flavor. We love to eat it raw, so we can do salads. I also like to saute it, and we have a ton of it. So it grows good in partial sun and shade. And every year I'm always like sticking more things in. So today, because we're trying to build like a plant wall in between where this little office studio is that we broadcast Farm Talk Friday from, and our neighbor. And so we have Thai ginger actually growing on the side, and that'll get to be taller than Ken. So that'll go good. But I also like creating more food. So we'll have the medicine of the ginger, but also the Katuk that our neighbor can enjoy. And this grows pretty fast. And once it gets going, it kind of makes more of itself. So yeah. That's what's happening.
All right.
That was our week.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Next time
we hope that you have a wonderful weekend.
Yes. See you next week on Farm Talk Friday.